Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you are all feeling fantastic. I hope you had an incredible day and remarkable morning. Today is the last day of Elevate and Transform, your 3 days to your dream body, energy, and mindset mastery masterclass slash challenge. I hope you guys really got something out of yesterday. I felt some really great energy and I am excited to continue on today. Today we are going to be talking about a topic. Let me see if I can see the broadcast in here. Fantastic. Okay. Good afternoon. I see Amanda is here with us. Fantastic. We are going to be diving in to the DNA. So hopefully you have your workbook. Now I sent everyone an email about an hour before this one. Anyone who registered received an email that has the workbook, the weight liberation hypnosis, and actually I dropped in the goal installation process that we did on the first day right into that email because I wanted to ensure everyone got what they wanted, what they were going to get when they first entered this masterclass. I wanted to give you guys gifts. I wanted you guys to walk away with an experience, and that goal installation can really give you that visceral experience that we want to create. So today I'm going to do a brief recap of what we talked about the first few days that we've been here, and then we are going to dive into. And again, if for some reason you didn't get that email, let's say you didn't register, just drop down below register and I will send you the link. When you register, you will automatically get all 3 of those gifts. So I want to make sure everyone gets those gifts. But today we're talking about DNA Decoded, awakening your unique superpowers for lifelong transformation. So let's start off with a little recap. We want to talk about the first couple days. We were talking about the feminine fit, flow, and frequency codes, and we were talking about how do we tap into the behaviors and the actions of the dream body. We want to make sure that we are doing what we need to do to create a dream body that is what we want to feel like, something that is going to feel easy, that where there's not resistance. So we want to make sure we're taking the right actions. We're stoking our metabolism. We are doing actions and behaviors that are making us more vital and aren't causing our bodies more stress, aren't disrupting our hormones. We talked specifically about the hormones, where our hormones are how we change on a week-to-week basis, how our nutrition needs to change, how our intensity changes, how our ability to manage stress, emotional, physical, all of those things that might not necessarily be focused on in a lot of programs. So we talked about the hormones and how those are relevant on this journey, this long-term journey, a journey that we want to ensure that we are getting healthier, we are getting more vibrant. If you are joining me live, give me a hashtag live below. Go ahead and like or love this so that other people in the group can see this training, even if they might not have gotten verification. You can't always get notified in these groups. So anyone who might be interested in seeing the group, if we like it, if we do a little hashtag live so I know you're live. If you're catching the replay, also please drop down below hashtag team replay. Again, remember there is an opportunity to win a one-on-one blueprint strategy with me worth $5,555, where we will go over everything one-on-one together, and it is quite life-changing. It'll bring so much clarity, so much peace, so much robustness and aliveness to your journey. This is not a journey of releasing weight. This is a journey of releasing the weight that's on your shoulders. It's about becoming whole again. And so I want everyone to have that opportunity if that is something that interests you. Yesterday, we also talked about the frequency codes and our own nature and what we bring to this process that is unique to us, that is not the general norm about metabolism and releasing weight, and even the exit strategy of wanting to ensure that once we stop the weight loss process, that we are able to simulate and bring our hormones back into alignment, bring our metabolism back up, so we're not in, or back up, so we're not in this endless cycle of losing weight, slowing our metabolism, increasing our hunger, and then putting the weight back on and starting that journey over, and over the years gaining more weight. We talked about the subconscious and how subconsciously that is what is in charge of 95% of our actions and behaviors. So the subconscious is what is in charge of our behaviors and our actions, not the conscious. We also talked about language and how it programs us, and how the mindset is 90 or 80% and 20% is strategy, but how energy is actually 100%, because energy is what influences the language and the mindset and the beliefs. And we cannot hold beliefs and mindsets and thoughts that resonate higher than our energy. So we spent the day talking about levels of energy and how can we increase our frequency. And then we also finished up talking about parts conflict, self-sabotage. What are the parts in you? What is the purpose? Why are they there? And how do you integrate them so you are having all of your energy moving towards your wishes, your desires, your aspirations, rather than having one part of you pulling you back as you keep trying to go forward. So you're integrating all of your energy, all of it's moving towards your desires, your hopes, your dreams, your purpose, your mission, your vision, versus having these parts of you that are coming in and disrupting that energy and keeping you from achieving the goals that you desire most, your highest version wants to achieve. Your highest version is your truest essence. So today, I want to dive into a topic that many of you might not be familiar with, and I think this is going to change a lot for you. Hopefully you can hear me. Let me see if I can see the comments. Okay, perfect. Just making sure, okay, we have some people live. I didn't have the comments open, so I wasn't 100% sure. Thank you guys so much for joining me live today. It is going to be incredible. I wanted to start off, I can hear myself still a little bit. I wanted to start off this class talking about hunger, and not just any hunger. I want to talk about the genetic hunger. Genetic hunger is built inside of all of us as a human species. It is what drives progress. It is what is driving you to create, to get better, to achieve goals. But what is happening is we are focusing on this outward hunger, this outward success, this outward progress, in hindrance of our inner progress. And so there's so much inside of us that is looking to expand, to be awakened, to have light shed on it. But we are ignoring it, and we are setting our focus, so many of us, on this outward hunger of success, of achieving, of these tangible things that are outside of us. And the other thing that I wanted to bring light to is the idea of serotonin. So this goes hand in hand with hunger. And when we have low serotonin, it is actually a signal or a sign of low frequency. This is a low frequency symptom of having low serotonin. The serotonin is what creates this satiation, or this hunger within us, this chemical hunger that is within us. And when we have low serotonin, this is what trips off things like cravings, depression. Remember, we talked about yesterday how we can measure the levels of like anger and frustration and cravings is one of those. So when you have these lower frequencies, it is also showing up chemically, and your hormones are chemicals. Everything is going to be affected. So when our serotonin is low, we have that's a signal that we have low frequency, low energy, and this is going to create cravings. So we're going to look for this satiation in things outside of us. We might look for satiation, like I was saying, through food, through drugs, through alcohol, through shopping, through success, trying to achieve worthiness through these outside means, this outside progress. This hunger is driving us, and this is innate. This is within all of us. I want to make sure that you guys can still see me because it looks on my side like it's pausing. Let me know below if you can still hear me. Oops. I'm going to turn that on. See if that works. Okay, I'm seeing it on here. Okay, I haven't heard. Okay, we can still see and hear you. All right, perfect. On my phone, it stopped. So I wanted to make sure I wasn't talking to myself. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. So we are looking for these outside things to fill this hunger. But what we need to understand is that there is no outside crutch. There is nothing outside of us, whether it is food, whether it is a pill, that is going to be able to rectify this chemical imbalance, this natural chemical balance within the body. This is something that we actually can create from within. So hunger and impatience. Hunger and impatience. Impatience is another way to say a mistrust. These are like opposite sides of the exact same coin. So when we feel impatient, when we feel this deep distrust, there's this resonant core feeling that things are not correct in the world, that things are not right. But that is not true, because everything is always the way it should be. But we feel like things aren't the way they should be. So we have this internal impatience, this internal distrust, and this feeds off of the hunger. So we want to create something, we want to make of something, we want to have something, we want to satiate this hunger. And when we're not satiating it fully, we have this impatience, we have this mistrust. And when we fall out of trust, now stay with me, there is a reason why I'm talking about all this. This is going to allude to our main topic of today. Is that when we fall out of trust, we fall out of flow. When we fall out of trust, we fall out of flow. And what we really want to do on our journey of releasing weight is we want to be in the rhythm of life. We want to listen to our body. We want to listen to our hormones. We want to take the lessons of the emotions, and we don't want to shove them down. We want to bring them to light, and we want to listen to them. We want to learn from them, right? We want to get to a place where we're not rushing, we're not forcing, we're not being manipulated by this hunger, and we learn to ease into our body and fully trust. Because when you fully trust, it's like this deep relaxation that happens. And there's so many women out there who do not know what it feels like to just exhale and deeply trust and deeply relax in their body. Stress is the number one killer in women. Stress keeps us from releasing weight. It's that distrust in the universe, in God, that everything is as it should be. It's that deep distrust and that hunger to want more, to need more, to be fulfilled, to satiate, to get all the things we need to get done in this life before time runs out. Is this resonating with you? Whether you guys are watching live or if you're watching the replay, does that resonate? Do you feel this? We want to find this flow, this deep trust. and be able to play off of this hunger that has been genetically inserted in us. So I know the women that are listening to this who follow me are successful. They have a passion, they have a mission, they want to help people. They want to be better so that they can bring this out into the world. And it can cause them to get out of alignment, to fall out of trust, and to start to have behaviors and actions that are not in alignment with their own best interests, their own health. Yes, and it is a practice. Patience is a practice. Trust is a practice, especially when you have that hunger. Again, they're go back and forth, right? They're opposite sides of the same coin. We are light energy. It is proven by science that we are light energy. Our bodies, our mitochondria, create and produce more energy and light than the sun. We are actually light beings. Why do I say this? Because when we are in a place of distrust, it can cause us to spiral. It can cause us to spiral. When you are in a place of mistrust, you can fall into energy of pessimism where you have an energetic collapse. Or you can fall into an energy of pushiness where you will block the life's path. You are causing resistance on your path. When we have unwanted weight, it is our body signaling that there is resistance. And when we have this resistance, it can downward spiral us, right? When we're trusting, when we're open, we're energetically at a high frequency, but when we have this distrust, this impatience, this hunger, it can spiral us down. Again, going back to the energy levels. And if you get to a place, an energy of fear, where you're fearing you're not going to accomplish, fearing you're not going to reach your goals, this limits the ability of light to touch your DNA. And what we want to do is we want to unlock the codes that are in our DNA, and this comes with increasing our energy. It comes with increasing our consciousness. Our DNA has lacked in it higher functions. And right now, if we have this low-level energy, we have lower serotonin, we have this hunger, we have these cravings, we have this impatience. We are functioning at lower levels of our DNA. So what is the solution? Well, the first solution is awareness. It's not discipline. We can't discipline ourselves out of this dilemma. So I remember how I was talking about the first level of reality creation. So remember, we were talking about there's the behavior. So there's the triangle in your workbook. In your workbook, I'll quick bring it up. Remember, there is this beautiful triangle. And this is the dream body triangle. But it's also the reality creation triangle. And so the very bottom is the behaviors and actions. The very top is what is called identity. So we can't discipline. So remember, discipline is the actions and the behaviors that reside in the 200s, which is where the body is. So for us to physically change the body, we need to be in the 200s. We need to have discipline. But discipline cannot get us out of this dilemma of unlocking this in our DNA, of increasing our serotonin naturally, of allowing us to satiate the hunger. The hunger is the drive within. It is not, we need to stop the energy from moving out, and we need to shift it back in. And this is where the shift comes from. So I'm hoping this is all making sense to you, because I know it is quite the idea, but I know when I speak in a certain way and you're meant to hear it, I know it will resonate. I know there's a part of you that has this knowing that's like, yes, that is true. because we all have intuition. And when we hear something that is truth that we know in our core, it just makes sense. It rings aha. Like, yes, I get that. That feels right. And that's who I'm speaking to. So we have this genetic hunger, we have this low serotonin, we have this hunger, this outside hunger, and a lot of us are following this hunger through outside pursuits, whether it is success in our careers, whether it is financial success, whether it's food or it is shopping. We are trying to fill this void, these cravings that we have created from this low energy. And what we need to do is we need to realize that this is an inside job and not an outside job. So what I do is I help women, because this stuff is coded in your DNA. I help women script out their DNA, because in your DNA, everything is already inside of you. Your calling is inside of you. Your soul's purpose. We came here for a purpose. And your soul's purpose is different than your human purpose. And so your soul's purpose, everything is coded in your DNA, your soul's purpose, your shadows. So when we talk about these lower frequencies, like the cravings, like the stress, like anger, like worry, even shame, guilt, these low-level energies, they're also called shadow frequencies. We have certain frequencies in our DNA that's genetically coded in, and you can see what are my specific shadows. When I am vibrating low, when I am in these lower pockets, what are the things that I am challenged with? And when I unlock that, when I increase my energy, my light, what are then the gifts and the geniuses that are unlocked? You can see in each one of us what our specific challenges are. You can see what you need to have radiance. Your health, what is going to unlock your health, is so different from the next person. Yes, there's diet and exercise, but I use the example of a few people in my world. So for me, in my DNA, to unlock my radiance, for me to truly be healthy, I need to release. I'm going to put on some lip gloss here. All this talking makes my lips... Oh, I want to grab my water, but I don't want to smack everything. Lives. Okay, perfect. So in our DNA, in my DNA specifically, because I want to give you some examples, for me to be my most radiant and healthy, I need to let go of things. I need to let go of emotional trauma. I need to let go of karma. I even need to simplify and minimize my house, my environment. I need to let go. And this is in my DNA, and this is something I've always known. Even 10 years ago, maybe more than that, I went on this whole minimalism journey. I even started my Facebook page or my YouTube page when I was, I don't know, my baby was probably 7, and I was going on this whole minimalism journey where I was just releasing everything. Come to find out that the way I tap into my most vibrant self, my healthiest self, is to let go. And the way I become prosperous, the way I will find prosperity, is through simplicity. This is all in my DNA. My son, it's almost straightforward. He actually just has to strength. He has to be strong. He has to have brute force. He needs to find the balance between the brute force and having strength, but really it's about him going into the gym and lifting heavy. One of my admins, her health, her vibrance is all about finding patience. And that is where she taps into and unlocks her genetic health. Also in your DNA is your main challenges that you are going to find throughout life. So you can find these things that are coded in your DNA. Finding what is your true identity. So your shadows are just a part of you. It is where you reside when you have low level energy. And how do you increase that energy? Well, we talked about the energetic creed yesterday and actual steps that you can take to begin to release this low level energy. But it's not just that, right? It's about who are you? Really being able to release societal's conditioning, other people's views on you. So on in our journal or in our workbook, I talk about your soul's purpose. Your soul came here for a reason, right? And then we also have at the very bottom, freedom in true identity. Who are you without the conditioning of society? Who are you without your own programmed beliefs? Without the narrative that you have constructed, that other people have constructed, that you are now replaying as your own. Because you came down here and you are a character and you get to choose your own personality. You can either choose the low levels or you can choose to increase your vibration, your energy, releasing the old unresolved negative emotions and being able to install these beliefs. And now, when you have this script, the reason why I talk so much about trust and hunger is because we have those placed within us intentionally. We have a hunger, we have a purpose, we have a calling. We have a human calling to help others, and we have a soul purpose too. We have all of this that is in your DNA, and once you unlock that, once you have that clarity, you can have trust. Because if you don't trust your path and you're unsure and you don't know why things are difficult, you begin to lose that trust and you will create resistance in your life. Resistance to all the things that you desire, including your dream body, including exponential energy, including that next level confidence. Yes, I can give you the strategies for the dream body. I can install that confidence, those beliefs. What do you need to believe to be that person? I can even show you how do you increase your energy to exponential levels so that you are unlocking higher functions of your DNA, so that you can reach your dream goals, so that you can create more money, so you can get to that level where you can have health, wealth, abundance. Now remember, your behavior is down here. And sure, you can just start doing things, but the one main goal that you can really set your sights on is, who am I? What is your identity? Because your identity at the very top of the triangle is going to affect your beliefs. They're going to affect your thoughts, are going to affect your emotions and your energy, and are going to affect your behavior and actions. It's a lot harder to start down here. Once you understand, who am I? What are the shadows that are arising when these lower pockets are there? What can I be? What is my possibility? It in your DNA even goes as far to show you, how do you get wealth? How do you heal your emotions? Or your relationships? It gives you this blueprint. It gives you this script. And it allows you to have that trust because you can see it unfolding. That's what happened for me in my life. There were times when I just wasn't 100% sure. And I go, no, I see it. I see it happening. It's right here for me. So on this last sheet, I also have something called your hinging points and your intuition. And so the other parts of really understanding, really creating this shift, right? Soul's purpose, hinging points, intuition, freedom of true identity, shift. I had to finagle it a little bit to get the word shift in there, but this is where the real shift happens. Understanding and being able to resonate and follow your soul's purpose. Your hinging points are the 2 or 3 things that make you feel, that really give you motivation, that make you feel like you have your life together. It's what everything else hinges upon. So a lot of us, when things are a little chaotic, when maybe we don't have time, maybe when we are in a little bit of a rush and we aren't tapping into that patience, we might overlook the one or two things that are for us that would make us feel like we have our shit together. And a lot of times, these hinging points are tiny things. It could be as simple as your hinging point might be that you need some you time first thing in the morning to collect yourself. Or your hinging point might be that you need support, or that you need to take a vacation every 6 months. Or it might be you need to have $50,000 in your savings to feel secure. You might need to have deadlines. So I'm throwing out so many things because our hinging points are so unique, but usually we have 2 or 3 things that we need that everything else in our life hinges upon. And a lot of times when we feel like everything's chaotic and we feel like a hot mess, it's not because everything is chaotic and a hot mess. It's because we have missed one of our hinging points. And the reason I bring this up is for a lot of people, they're really simple things. Like eating a healthy breakfast, lunch, and that's their hinging point. If they eat a healthy breakfast and lunch, the rest of their day, the rest of their week goes well. Right? Maybe it is they are someone who needs to get 30 minutes of some kind of workout in. Like that's just what they need. Or maybe they need to eat every 3 hours. And it doesn't seem like a big deal, but they might skip it because everything seems to be rushed. And so when we skip the tiny things that make us who we are, that everything else hinges upon, it can disrupt our whole life. Because you can get so far away, you can get so out of alignment that you don't even realize what is missing, what happened, what is going on. And then we talk about intuition. So in my programs, when I'm working with clients, I talk a lot about intuition, because this is the part of us that lets us know when we are in alignment. When are we doing what is in service of what our soul wants from us? Because when we are not in alignment, that is when we hit all the red lights. When we're hungry, when we're on our mission, when we are driven, when we have all of our sights set, but we have that impatience and we're not tapping into our intuition. We're not slowing down. This is when we hit all the red lights instead of all the green lights. It always feels like when we're in a rush that we hit every red light. And so it's our intuition, it's our internal compass that allows us to navigate. And it's different for everyone. Everyone's intuition talks to them differently. And so when I'm working with clients, we go into their energetics and we determine, how does your intuition speak to you? How does it feel different? So that when you're going about your day, you can settle into your intuition versus allowing your mind to direct you. Our mind is not meant to be the compass. Our intuition is meant to be the compass. And so whenever we leave that job to our mind, this is when stress, this is when impatience happens. This is when we begin to live out of alignment, out of our soul's purpose. So we want to be able to bring it back into our intuition. And then lastly is that freedom of true identity, being able to free yourself from outside conditioning, all of those beliefs that are not yours, all of those subconscious parts that we've taken on. They are not truly who we are. And we want to get back to that. And we can find these in our DNA. And increasing our energy is what unlocks that part of us. And what allows us to take on that identity, to those beliefs of the version of us that can create the reality that we desire, including our dream body. So remember, the first day I talked about our purpose. And our number one purpose on earth is to be healthy. It's to live a long time. It's to take care of this vessel through the way we eat, the way we exercise, how we think, our decisions. Because again, stress is the number one killer. How are we taking care of this? That's our number one purpose. Because if we're not here, how can we contribute? How can we make a change? Number 2 is to evolve. We are here to evolve. We're here to dissect this. What are these shadows? What is this resistance? What is stopping me? What are my challenges? What are my blocks? What are these things? And not to shame them, but again, bring awareness, bring them to light. Literally and figuratively, bring them to light. They're in the shadow, in lower energy, and we're bringing them up into that light energy. And bringing aware, and we're evolving, and we're changing, and we are rewiring, and we are releasing. And then our last purpose, which a lot of you, I'm sure you already are aware of, is that calling to serve others. That calling, like I said, is a genetic hunger, and it is genetically inside of you. You have a very specific calling that only you can do. You have a specific calling. You have specific challenges that get in that way. You have a specific calling that has specific gifts and geniuses that only you can bring to light. And you have that hunger. But what you can't do, what we don't want to do, is put that third purpose, that hunger, that calling ahead of living healthy, taking care of ourselves, of our energy, of how we speak to ourselves, of our confidence, our self-esteem. There is a way to do this. Be healthy, evolve, and then serve. So the last thing I wanted to do is I wanted to go over these questions with you. So there's 2 questions because, again, I want you guys to spend a moment contemplating the things that we have discussed, the things that have touched you, that have resonated with you. These are to activate you. Number 1, there is a magic that happens when someone finds their person, their mentor, a perspective, a tool, at a particular time that can change everything for them. What I want you to do is ask yourself, what do I need to do to be prepared? Illuminate my inner landscape. Maybe I need to rest more. Maybe I need to build up my belief in what I'm here to do and how I show up. What do you need to do to be prepared to step into this next level, to make this upgrade, to shift? Number 2, I wonder what needs to happen in order to have more faith, more trust, more patience. What if all I need to do is tune into my intuition so I know what is right for me and I know when the timing is right? These are the questions that I'd love for you to sit with. If you guys need the workbook, drop workbook down below. Otherwise, if you haven't registered and you want the workbook, the hypnosis, and the goal installation, you can just put a little wavy hand saying you want to register, and when you register, it just means you're going to get that email with all of that stuff in it. So you won't get a bunch of emails. You'll just get that one email with all that stuff in. If you are feeling called and you're curious, how can I move forward? Can I get help with this? If you're curious in how myself and my team can help you create your dream body blueprint, and help you with your feminine fit codes, help you with the energy, with the language, with the rewiring, diving into your DNA scripting. If you're even in the slight bit curious, right now we are offering some incredible bonuses. And so all you have to do is put curious below or reach out to me, and we will talk to you about what the next steps are. And we can see, are you a good fit? Are any of the programs that I'm offering something that would help you get to the next level? Because the most important thing is that to get from here to really embody that identity is that we need support. Accountability is incredible because accountability will help you get from point A to point B. Because the whole purpose of this dream body alchemy method is about helping you embody the identity of someone who doesn't need that accountability. The embodying the identity of the person who does the thing, who feels the way, who trusts themselves. But we all need that support, someone to believe in us, because we are meant to have these shadows. We're meant to go down and learn. We're meant to have the self-sabotage come up so that we can learn the lessons of what we need. And so what we all need is support and accountability. And so if that is something you are interested in, please reach out. And thank you guys so much for being a part of this experience. If you have any questions, always reach out. And until next time, I love you.